Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Enjoy English with Noah. I'm so happy you're here with us today. If you're new, hi, welcome to the family. And if you've been with us for a while, it's so great to see you again.
Hey, everyone. Oh, I'm really excited about today's episode because this is one of those topics that so many English learners find confusing. And honestly, once it clicks, your English goes to a completely different level.
That's so true. And you know what's funny? I remember the first time I tried to explain the difference between these three structures to a friend, and I actually confused myself. It's one of those things that sounds simple, but has a lot going on underneath.
Today on Enjoy English with Noah, we're looking at three conditional structures: if I have, if I had, and if I had had. These are what grammar books call the zero and first conditional, the second conditional, and the third conditional. But don't worry, we're not going to make this feel like a grammar textbook. We're going to make it feel like a real conversation.
By the end of today's episode, you're going to know exactly when to use each structure, what the difference in meaning is, and how to use them naturally in your everyday English, at work, with friends, and in writing.
Here's a question we want you to think about before we start. Which of these three sentences feels most confusing to you right now? If I have time, I'll call you. If I had time, I would call you. If I had had time, I would have called you. Drop a comment below and tell us which one you want us to explain the most.
And while you're down there in the comments, please hit that subscribe button on Enjoy English with Noah. We post new English lessons every week, and we'd love to have you with us for every single one.
All right, let's jump right in. We're going to start with the first structure, if I have, and build up from there. Trust me, it all makes perfect sense once you see them side by side.
Okay, let's start with the first structure, if I have. This one actually covers two conditionals, the zero conditional and the first conditional, and both of them talk about real situations, things that are possible or likely to happen.
Right. So the basic structure is if plus present simple for zero conditional, and if plus present simple, will plus base verb for first conditional. Let me give you some examples so you can hear the difference.
Zero conditional first. This is for things that are always true, like facts or habits. If I have coffee in the morning, I feel much better. That's always true for me. Or, if water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. These are facts. They happen every time, without exception.
Now, first conditional, this is for real possibilities in the future. If I have time this weekend, I'll clean the house. That might happen. It depends on whether I have time. Or, if she passes the exam, she'll celebrate. It's possible. It's realistic. That's the key difference. Zero conditional is always true. First conditional is possibly true.
So how do I know which one to use? That's a great question. Ask yourself, am I talking about a universal fact or a future possibility? If it's a fact, zero conditional. If it depends on a future condition, first conditional. Both use present tense in the if part, which is why they feel similar.
Here are some more first conditional examples to practice with. Say these out loud with us. If it rains tomorrow, I won't go jogging. If you study hard, you'll improve your English. If I get the job, I'll move to a new city. Can you notice the pattern? If plus present simple, will plus base verb. Try making your own sentence right now and write it in the comments.
Now let's look at the negative form quickly. For zero conditional, if I don't sleep well, I feel terrible the next day. For first conditional, if you don't hurry, you'll miss the bus. You just add don't or doesn't in the if clause. Simple.
Can you complete the sentence? If I have enough money next month, I will... What will you do? Write your answer below. We'd love to read your sentences. To sum up section 1, if I have is for real situations, real facts, and real future possibilities. The situation is possible. It could actually happen.
Now let's move to the second structure, if I had. This is the second conditional, and it's one of the most useful and expressive structures in English, but it's also where a lot of learners start to feel confused. So let's take it nice and slow.
The key thing to understand about if I had is this. We're not talking about a real situation. We're imagining something. We're talking about a situation that is hypothetical, unlikely, or impossible right now.
The structure is if plus past simple, would plus base verb. So for example, if I had $1 million, I would travel the world. Do I have $1 million? No, I'm imagining it. It's a dream. Or if I lived in Paris, I would go to a cafe every morning. I don't live in Paris. I'm just imagining what my life would be like. Here's a really important point. Even though we use the past tense in the if clause, we are not talking about the past. We're talking about the present or future, but as an imaginary situation. This is what confuses so many learners. The past tense here is used to show distance from reality, not distance in time. Oh, that's such a good point. So when someone says, if I were you, I would apologize, they're not talking about the past. They're giving advice right now, in this moment. They're imagining being you. That's second conditional. And notice we said, if I were you, not if I was you. In formal English, we use were for all subjects in the second conditional. If she were here, if he were taller, if I were a doctor. In informal spoken English, people sometimes say was, and that's okay in casual conversation, but were is the correct form. Let's practice. I'll say a situation and you make the second conditional sentence. Ready? Situation. You don't have a car, but imagine you do. What would you do? Try saying it out loud. If I had a car, I would... Go on, finish the sentence, then write it in the comments. Here are some more examples to listen to and repeat. If I knew the answer, I would tell you. If she had more confidence, she would speak up more. If we lived closer to work, we wouldn't spend so much on transport. Notice how each one is imaginary, not real, not happening right now. To review, if I had is for imaginary present situations, things you're dreaming about, wishing for, or hypothetically considering. Okay, here we are at the third structure, and this one is the one that makes most learners go, wait, what? It's if I had, the third conditional. And yes, you really do say had. Let us explain why, and it will all make sense.
The third conditional talks about the past. Specifically, it talks about imaginary situations in the past, things that did not happen, and what would have been different if they had. It's about regrets, missed opportunities, and past hypotheticals. The structure is if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Did I study hard? No. Did I pass the exam? No. I'm looking back and imagining a different outcome. Or, if she had left earlier, she wouldn't have missed the train. She didn't leave earlier. She did miss the train. We're imagining what could have been different.
So why do we say if I had? Because in many sentences, the verb in the if clause is have. So you need the past perfect of have, which is had. For example, if I had more time, I would have finished the project. First had is the past perfect helper. Second had is the verb have in past participle form. They just happen to be the same word. I remember when I first heard someone say, if I had more money, and I thought they were stuttering. But no, it's completely correct. And once you understand the structure, it makes total sense. This structure is incredibly useful for talking about regrets. If I had told her the truth, things would have been different. If we had arrived on time, we would have met him. If I hadn't eaten that pizza, I wouldn't have felt so sick. Say that last one out loud. It's a great sentence to practice. Here's a little personal practice moment. Think of one thing you wish you had done differently last year. Just one. And try to make a third conditional sentence. For example, if I had started exercising earlier, I would have felt healthier. Can you make one? Write it in the comments. We genuinely love reading your sentences. So, to review section 3, third conditional uses if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
It's for imaginary past situations, things that didn't happen. Regrets, wishes, and what-ifs about the past. Beautiful, right? Okay, let's look at some mistakes.
All right, mistakes time. And honestly, these are mistakes that even advanced learners make, so please don't feel bad if you recognize yourself here. I've made all of these at some point, and so has Noah.
Mistake number 1, using will in the if clause. This is extremely common. Learners say, if I will have time, I'll call you. But that's wrong. You never put will after if in a conditional. The correct version is, if I have time, I'll call you. The if clause always uses a present or past tense, not will.
Mistake number 2, confusing the second and third conditional. This happens when learners use second conditional to talk about the past. For example, saying, if I studied harder, I would pass the exam, when they mean a past exam that already happened. For past imaginary situations, you need third conditional. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam.
Mistake number 3, saying would have in the if clause. For example, if I would have known, I would have told you. This sounds very natural to many learners, but it's actually incorrect in standard English. The correct version is, if I had known, I would have told you. Save would have for the result clause, not the if clause.
Mistake number 4, forgetting the past participle in third conditional. Learners sometimes say, if I had studied, I would pass. But pass needs to be past, the past participle. The structure is would have plus past participle. So I would have passed. I would have finished. I would have known. Always use the past participle after would have.
Quick practice. I'll say the wrong sentence, you try to correct it before I do. If I will see her, I'll say hello. What's the correct version? If I see her, I'll say hello. Perfect. Mistakes are how we learn. Every English speaker has made these at some point. What matters is that you keep noticing and correcting. You're doing so well.
Time for our Choose the Correct Sentence activity. For each situation, I'll give you 2 options. Say your answer out loud. Don't just think it. Speaking out loud is how these structures become natural.
Situation 1. You're talking about what you'll do if the weather is nice this weekend. Option A, if it will be sunny, I would go to the park. Option B, if it's sunny, I'll go to the park. Which is correct?
Option B. We're talking about a real future possibility. So we use first conditional. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. Option A has will be in the if clause, which is wrong, and mixes first and second conditional incorrectly.
Situation 2. You're imagining your life if you had a different job. Option A, if I had a different job, I would be happier. Option B, if I had a different job, I will be happier. Which one sounds right?
Option A. We're imagining. This is second conditional. The result clause needs would, not will. Using will makes it sound like a real future possibility, but the meaning here is hypothetical, so it's would be, not will be.
Situation 3. You're talking about a job interview you had last month. You didn't get the job, and you're reflecting on why. Option A, if I had prepared more, I would have got the job. Option B, if I prepared more, I would get the job. Which one correctly describes this past situation?
Option A. The interview is in the past, and the outcome can't be changed. So we use third conditional. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. Option B is second conditional. That would be for an imaginary present or future situation.
Amazing work.
Now, here's your challenge. Write one sentence using each of the 3 structures in the comments. 3 sentences total. It can be about anything, your life, your dreams, your regrets, your plans. The important thing is you try. Real practice beats perfect grammar every single time.
Wow, what an episode! I genuinely think this is one of our most useful lessons yet. You've just learned one of the most important grammar topics in English, and you should feel really proud of yourself for getting through it.
Let's do a quick summary of the 3 structures we covered today. Number 1, if I have, first and 0 conditional, for real situations, facts, and future possibilities. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. Number 2, if I had, second conditional, for imaginary present situations. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. Number 3, if I had had. Third conditional, for imaginary past situations and regrets. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
The key to making these feel natural is practice. Don't try to memorize all the rules at once. Just start with one, the first conditional, and use it in real sentences this week. Then move to the second, then the third, one step at a time.
Here's a reflection question for you. If you could go back and change one moment in your life, what would it be? Can you express it using the third conditional? Try saying it out loud right now, or write it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your answers.
If you found today's lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and helps more learners around the world find Enjoy English with Noah. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Every new subscriber means we can keep making these free lessons for you.
You are genuinely doing something amazing by taking the time to improve your English every day. It's not always easy, and we know that. But every lesson, every sentence you practice, every comment you write, it all adds up. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much for watching Enjoy English with Noah today. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and we'll see you next time.